Hey y'all, this is my Real Housewives of Potomac episode 3 review. I'm so glad that this is the only review I got to worry about on Sunday nights because doing Married to Medicine, it was breaking my spirit. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So we start out with Robyn. We're at her house. She's in bed, and according to Juan, she's in bed all day, and producers are messy. They definitely couldn't wait to show us this scene. So I'm not sure why she waited 3 minutes until her son's class start to wake him up. Like, he's gonna be groggy, not paying attention, and what about breakfast? Like, damn. So 30 minutes passes by, Robyn still looks like she tired. Juan comes in to wake her up. Now, production, I see how shady y'all are. Under Juan's name it says her ex-husband / fiance. Okay. But yeah, he takes this moment to embarrass her further on national TV, saying why is she in bed still? And her other son has class in, I think, 7 minutes. Juan continues to scold Robyn while she's in bed, while she's saying it's a pandemic. You know what, Robyn? I get it. Juan, what's wrong with him like waking the kids up if he knows Robyn is, in a funk or whatever? Instead of scolding her, why don't you help the woman? Get her some therapy, encourage her, love her. It's not all Robyn's fault. And I have a lot to say about Robyn sometimes. I think she's always up Giselle's ass. I think she's boring most of the time. But you know what? She's a mom and she deserves respect from this man, this N-word that cheated on her in the beginning and probably wasn't there for the kids as much as she was when they were growing up. Like I said, these men be fine, but they be ain't shit. Then Juan leaves the room. You always making excuses. I'm done. Wow. Between the green-eyed bandits, I don't know which one of them likes to be embarrassed on TV more. Robyn in her confessional says she's burnt out, she's lacking motivation. I just thought about it, but maybe they should invest in getting a nanny to help out. I mean, that's what Jennifer did on Jersey, and she had 5 kids. So I'm sure with that Housewives check, she can afford a nanny. But cheap-ass Juan will probably be like, why we need a nanny when you right here and you in bed all day? Damn, now we see Robyn's youngest son getting scolded by his teacher. And the teacher telling him, you gotta make sure your mom wakes you up. Bitch, you talk to my mom about that. Don't blame the child. Oh my God, we need to find out who that teacher is. Yeah, those kids should have been up at 7:45, brush their teeth, get the coal out their eye, get some food in their stomach, and then be ready to learn. Like, they basically just got up and just turned on the computer. I mean, y'all think I just hop out of bed and do this? No, I don't. So next scene we're with the Grand Dame and Ray, and Ray's like adjusting her lighting while she's about to do some type of conference for her fragrance line. Karen, this wig you have on your confessional, this is like drag queen-esque. It's like Trinity K. Bonet doing Beyonce, like a drag queen's interpretation of a Beyonce wig. Karen has moved on from fragrances to now wigs. I mean, it took her 3 to 4 seasons to get her own wigs right, but they're looking sharp now, so why not capitalize? Next, we're with Giselle and Ashley at a coffee shop. I gotta tell you, these ladies are being ultra nice to messy-ass Ashley. I mean, she might want to try to stay pregnant for another 2 months, because wow, they are really treating her like a queen. I remember the first few seasons, Pepperidge Farm remembers, they used to come at Ashley, and especially her husband. I hope she's ready after that baby come out because all bets are off, I'm sure, with the green-eyed bandits as well as Candace. Giselle asks Ashley about Michael's alleged infidelity, and Ashley says she's not worried about it this time around. She's not worried about it because they're in an open relationship. Now, I'm sure y'all saw the picture floating around. Thank you to those who put it in my inbox of Michael with some other woman. I'm like, what else is new? Like, they have an open marriage. They both have passes. She has the pass for the puss, he has the pass for the bus. And why is Giselle so concerned about this? Like, you should be worried about your own relationship with Jamal. So then they get on the topic of Karen's party that Giselle missed out on. And, Ashley's gonna be messy. First, Giselle asks, what does she think about Mia? And then she talks about how, of course, Mia got vaginal rejuvenation surgery or got her clit done, whatever you want to call it. Also, I thought it was really nasty and rude for Ashley to just assume that she was just getting into strip clubs so much that she needed her coochie done. I'm like, damn, like Ashley of all people sex shaming? Anyway, she also tells Giselle because, you know, Ashley's messy. She was saying what Mia said about her when she found out that Giselle allegedly wished death on Ray, saying that, oh, maybe she's just only a pretty face. I have to question her character. Giselle says, oh, that's interesting. Damn, we only 3 episodes in and they are just going at the new girl. This is such a hazing process. I personally just think Mia's just judging what she sees at face value and giving her opinion. I don't think she's being duplicitous at first or riding the fence because I don't think she's even had a one-on-one with Robyn or Giselle yet. So Giselle tells Ashley that she wants to throw her a little spa party, a pamper Ashley party, and invite all the ladies, except Karen. But Ashley was like, yeah, you have to invite Karen. She was like there all the way for me for my first pregnancy, asked me how I'm doing. So she begrudgingly says she will invite Karen as well. And to finish out this scene, they throw more shade at Mia for getting her clit done, assuming that porn stars only get their clits done. Next scene, we're with Robyn in this warehouse as she's mailing out her hats, like from her embezzlement line. I didn't think they were that popular, but I'm guessing people are buying them. Good for her. Maybe she'll get a nanny with those profits. We also are introduced to her friend, Escale. I didn't know that she was the friend of the show, but apparently she is, and Robyn is bringing her on. I thought that was Robyn's assistant at first, but later down the line, I'm like, oh, this is the new girl, the friend of the show. Wow, those are a lot of embezzlement hats. Like, they selling that much inventory? Wow. So Wendy visits Robyn too, I'm assuming to help her out with mailing out these embezzlement hats. Robyn introduces her to Escale. We found out that they're both from Africa. Wendy's from Nigeria, of course, and Escale's from Ethiopia. 350 orders. You go ahead, Robyn. So Robyn is getting nervous that as the business gets bigger, she's just afraid of getting into debt. So she's being cheap right now by not hiring people to do this packaging for her. Wendy tells Robyn that she's working on her own business and she wants to do a home essentials line and she wants to start out with candles first. Robyn is like, oh! And then we fast forward to Robyn in the confessional saying like, well, where did this come from? And I feel just like Robyn. I said in the first episode, I was like, where is this coming from? Because last season she wanted to be like a full-time commentator. But what does this have to do with your degrees as well as your commentating background? It is kind of weird though, like you just want to be the candle lady? Wendy brings up Karen's party and Robyn was like, girl, I didn't go because Juan didn't want to go. Robyn, you didn't want to go because your Lord and Savior Giselle wasn't present. You can't do anything on your own in a group setting unless Giselle is there. That's why you didn't go. So Wendy's giving Robyn a rundown of what happened at Karen's party, and of course she's going to talk about her argument with Mia. So then they decide to pause that scene, and now we're with Mia and her husband. We see she just got an invite from Giselle for Ashley's pamper party. The way Mia talks, hi ladies, Ashley's about to bust, so it's time to celebrate her. Thursday is Pamper Ashley Day at a spa. So now she's filling her husband in at what happened at Karen's while he was talking to the guys. It's so funny when the wives tell their husbands about the drama that happened because the husbands don't give a shit. So we go back to Wendy's perspective as she's telling the story to Robyn, and it looks like she's trying to get Robyn and Giselle against the new girl. It looks pretty obvious. Wendy's talking about when Mia was putting her hand in her face and she told her not to, and Mia was like, what you gonna do about it? She's like, Owen would have popped off. Girl, you wouldn't have did nothing. You wouldn't have did nothing. I don't believe it. Because you definitely judged Monique last season for popping off. We're back with Mia and she thinks Wendy's husband Eddie is scared of her. Escala asks Robyn, ooh, I hope that's her name, y'all. I forgot already. I think it's Escala. Whatever. Escala asks Robyn, oh, what to expect from Karen? Robyn says she drinks a lot. Then Robyn brings up Wendy's party when Karen was popping off, especially on her, and asked Wendy why was she defending Karen? You know, because Robyn expected Wendy to be as loyal to Giselle as she is. Wendy said that in her house, she didn't want Karen to feel like she was ganged up on, so she just wanted to be fair between her and Giselle. And I agree, it should have just been between them two. Why Robyn got to jump in on it? And Robyn got red. Robyn got red when she put her nose in Giselle's fight. We see the foreshadowing though in the future because I'm sure the Green-Eyed Bandits are going to turn on Wendy. So next scene we're with Candace, playing fake mom again. Her scene's been boring lately by herself. Her mom needs to show up because she's way more interesting than her daughter. And Candace, this white eyeliner in the confessional just ruined your makeup. Love the hair, but I'm not feeling the makeup. We see her talking to Chris, and I hope to God he's not saving empty liquor bottles as decoration. That is some ghetto shit. I'm sorry, it is. My apologies for anybody in the audience who does that, but it's throw the bottles away. And thank God Candace gets a call from Dorothy, her mom. She's starting already. She see Chris drinking in the middle of the day. So Candace is telling her mom that she's going to be meeting up with Karen soon to have this conversation. She's still pressed that Karen didn't pick a side in the whole Candace-Monique fight. I notice how they don't even want to say Monique's name because they just that pressed. Production probably is too, but whatever. So then Candace tells her mom in regards to her music career that her husband is managing her now. My husbander. Her mom is like, okay. Good luck with that. I think her mom thinks that her husband will now be leeching off of her. Because what does Chris do, honestly? Like, he does those cooking classes, but what does he do now? Can we not make husbander a thing? Like, that's like fetch. It's not going to happen. Her mom is like, whatever. It's your life. You can fuck it up if you want. Next scene we're with Karen, and Wendy is coming over to visit. Wow, they've come a long way. Wendy lets us know that her and Karen had decided to move forward, and then Wendy wants to use Karen for her business knowledge, and maybe that can help her with her home essentials business she's trying to do. Karen is right, and I think everybody on the cast, this is a brand new Wendy. This is like a 180 from when she first came on the show. This is what happens when a housewife after her first season reads all the comments the fans had to say and try to correct everything. So Karen is giving Wendy a bunch of pointers. I'm wondering, is LaDame that successful of a business for Karen to just start mentoring people? No shade. I'm just wondering, like, is her business that successful? Like, I could see if it was like Candy or Bethany or whatever, but I don't know about this. Like, people buying LaDame? Karen is asking Wendy simple business questions, and it seems like Wendy don't know what she's doing. She doesn't know her audience. She doesn't know why people would pick her candle over anyone else's. I think she should stick to the political commentating. I think Wendy figured out that there's no money in that. I'm just really not a candle person. Like, people like candles like that. Next scene, we're with Mia, and we're taking a look at her family life again. We see that she's on good terms with her oldest child's father, and that her current husband and her ex both play a role in her son's life raising him. So her and her husband go into the other room to discuss her mom, who I think she said is visiting soon, and she's talking about her complex relationship with her mother. It's giving very Kenya Moore. Oh, this picture of me at 6 years old is so adorable. She said her mom struggled with drug addiction and put her up for foster care, and then later on in life, she still has a strained relationship with her mom. So Mia is totally having an emotional moment right now, but I think because her face doesn't move, we can't see any type of expression. No shade. It's just like, if I don't see any tears, I can't tell if she's sad or not, because her face is snatched. It don't move. Next scene, we're with Karen, and she finally goes over to Candace's house to talk out their issues. They're having a grown woman conversation. No one's yelling, raising their voice. Candace's main issue with Karen is the position that she took in the fight with her and Monique. Like, she remained neutral. She had a problem with that. And Karen says that she was hurt emotionally by their reaction of her remaining neutral, because they actually tried to ice Karen out. Karen is basically saying that she's not sorry for the position that she took. She did the best she could when two friends were going at it. And here go Candace, y'all, with the tissue folded into a perfect triangle. Candace said that she would be lying if she said that her and Karen's friendship would be the same ever again. And Karen is fine with that answer. And then Candace blatantly tells Karen, I don't trust you. I'm guessing this is a truce and going forward. I'm not really sure how she felt backstabbed, because Karen was friends with them both, like, equally. Like, did she really expect for her to just drop Monique like that? I mean, the Green Eyed Bandits was thrilled that there was another person on the cast that hated Monique as much as them. So there's that. Candace thinks that Karen isn't capable of being a friend, but she can remain cordial around her. So I'm guessing now her relationship with Karen is more so co-worker than actual friend. So next scene, we're at the spa as Giselle is setting up for Ashley's pamper party. Candace is the first to arrive. Now Candace still don't fuck with Ashley, but she says in her confessional, I'm gonna keep it cute, I'm gonna be polite, she's still with child. I mean, that didn't stop you earlier when she had her first child. Like, Ashley was in the middle of pushing baby Dean out, and Candace was calling her everything under the sun. I think she even called Ashley a roach. But okay, Candace, act brand new like Wendy doing, okay. She's now telling Giselle how her meeting with Karen went. I'm guessing she was expecting an apology from Karen. I mean, she wasn't gonna get it. Wendy arrives next, and again, the titties are out. Like, she has changed her whole wardrobe to focus around her titties. And I ain't mad at that. Show them off, girl, you paid for it. So most of the ladies have arrived. They're waiting on a few more. A scholar, Robyn's friend, arrives with her huge Louis bag. The Grand Dame arrives, and Karen be turning these looks now. I mean, I ain't mad. She doing it right. Like, she got that wardrobe and them wigs right. Soon as Karen walks through the door, the look Giselle gave her, still like just utter disgust in her face. I might have to screenshot it. It's really funny. Oh my God. Like, that is a look of disdain. And I'm sure it's probably because Karen walked in and completely ignored Giselle. And last but not least, Mia walks in looking all chippy and happy. Wendy's staring darts at her already. And unfortunately, Mia has to sit next to Wendy as well. But unlike Karen, Mia actually speaks to Wendy as she sits next to her. So they're all playing a fun game of guessing the baby bump. It's all the ladies with like extreme close-ups of their belly and they all trying to guess who they are. I love how they threw Candace in there just to not leave her out. Oh my God, Giselle was huge with those twins. Wow. She looked miserable in that picture too. So a couple of ladies start the whole spa treatment while the other ladies stay in the room. Karen is asking Mia how her relationship is with Wendy. She's like, oh, well, Wendy's right here. We can talk about it right now, really. So they're discussing the issue, but I don't understand why Mia is recapping what happened to Karen because she was actually there. But then, as she said about the whole hands in the face thing, Wendy's like, don't you ever do that again. I'm like, why are we coming in hot? It already happened. Just say like, well, I would appreciate if you never do that again. I'm not caping for Mia, but the way Wendy came at her first, Mia is just responding to that energy. And she's like, well, I just talk with my hands, so you have a problem with it, you can just go sit over there. Like, Mia gives real unbothered energy. And then Wendy just seems so damn pressed by her like existence, and I really don't know why. Okay, did Wendy practice this little speech in the mirror, this rehearsed read? Like, you even got the green-eyed bandits laughing at you, girl. I didn't have time for you, but I have time for you today. Tick-tock, Mia. Really? That was a little whack. Ooh, and I bet you she thought she did something there. Like, she was so proud of herself. So now Mia's trying to tell Giselle the story, and Wendy keep interrupting her. All Mia said was she, and Wendy's like, my name is Wendy. While Wendy really has an axe to grind, like Giselle can't even get out like the mess she was told from Ashley to Mia without Wendy interrupting. You are dismissed. I have time today. Are you auditioning for a Tyler Perry play? Like, what is this? I think people are laughing at her too. I don't think production wanted to capture all that. I can't take her seriously. Exactly, what happened to Zen Wen? She's supposed to be calm right now. She's really pressed and bothered. And then Mia's like, you must be unhappy at home or something. And then Wendy's like, well, you the one unhappy at home because you the one who needs your clit fixed. Again, she thinks she did something. Mia has had enough of Wendy's antics and theatrics, so she gets up and leaves the room. And meanwhile, it looks like Giselle's a little pissed at Wendy for not letting Mia get a word out. Wendy looks a little frustrated that Giselle isn't immediately on her side. And as they're talking, you can definitely hear Robyn backing up Giselle like she always do. And it's funny because in the beginning of the episode, we hear Robyn saying that Wendy wasn't loyal. And now we hear Wendy saying Robyn and Giselle aren't loyal to her. It really seems like Wendy's trying to get adoration from Giselle and Robyn, because this whole thing started because she was like, oh, well, you said this about Giselle, you said this about Karen, which side is it? It seemed like she's trying to pit the OGs against Mia, and it's kind of backfiring. Candace actually sees what's happening and kind of takes Wendy to the side and says, I don't want it to look like Mia is pushing your buttons. And Wendy doesn't hear. She's like, I'm Zen Wen. I'm Zen Wen. Girl, clearly you not. So now the energy is calmed down. Most of the ladies are in the same room in their robes, and they're talking about now how they're going to celebrate after Ashley has the baby. They're going to go out drinking, specifically Karen and her fireball shots. And then Ascala, who's going to earn her friend of the show check, says, "Can I ask a question? It was said that you drink a lot." I like how she brings this up to Karen as Robyn is just sitting right there because she's the one who said it. And as Karen says, well, I think it's dangerous to start pointing fingers at people being alcoholics. Messy Production brings up 2 weeks ago when Karen accused Giselle of being an alcoholic. So the hypocrisy is there. So the messiness continues and Ashley brings it up. They bring up Karen's party again, and Ashley's like, yeah, I found out that Mia and her husband met at an interesting place. And as we know, Mia is very transparent, sometimes to a fault, and she has no problem telling the ladies that, well, I was a bartender as well as a stripper, and that's how she met her husband. Crickets. Crickets in the room, the lady's facial expressions. So now Mia is clarifying that yes, she was a stripper, but there was no pole. She said it was a 5-star type restaurant, gentleman's club. Now, what she's describing is escort, and I think Giselle helps her to get to that word. And the girls wore long gowns. They didn't wear skimpy clothing that strippers wear. Someone was like, well, escorts have sex for money. And she said, well, I don't know anything about that. She getting a lot of screw faces in the room. So we have all the ladies commenting in their confessionals about this. Ashley's like, well, yeah, I've been in those clubs. Of course you've been in those clubs, Ashley. You and Michael. Seeing the girls in gowns, she was like, those are some skimpy old gowns. I don't know what she's talking about. And then we get to Candace talking about it like, oh, you were stripping and you met that old geezer. Wow, Candace really had the nerve to call somebody's husband a geezer? Or talk about anybody's husband, period? With her broke redneck ragamuffin husband? Really? And Karen is like, girl, there ain't no shame in it. Lord, of course, Karen. I was thinking about getting a pole. I don't want to hear this, Karen. I don't. So this is weird. Giselle is fully dressed as everyone else is in robes chilling. She's like, okay, y'all, well, I gotta go. So I'm gonna see y'all soon. How the host leave before everybody else? I believe what somebody said on Twitter. They said she left before the bill came. Meanwhile, as Karen is just reading the hell out of Giselle in her confessional. She's not a wig wearer. She's not a good host. So the episode ends with the ladies saying a little prayer that Ashley has a safe delivery. Then we see Wendy and Mia dart eyes at each other. But yeah, that was a decent episode. I love that all the women are getting equal camera time. And Candace, she's kind of boring. I try to give her a chance, but we 3 episodes in. She's not interesting unless she's with her mom or if she's with the other ladies. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I'm kind of tired right now with the Mia and Wendy. It's starting to get like Crystal and Sutton. The 2 new girls going at it, can we get some more drama from somewhere else? But anywho, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.